Whenever two people in the ring, there's a possibility you could die any moment in there. There's always that possibility. It's always there. Happiness for me? Dying. I don't live life too good. I don't do well in this world. I lose a lot in life. Die in a moment in there. There's always that possibility. It's always there. Man, after one of my fights, man, you said, really, I'm really doing this for a living? The pain started coming like something awful, my friend. You can't do nothing, can't make love to your wife, can't eat, can't drink water, you know, you can't dump, and it's just a trip getting your ass kicked, you know? Really deep down inside, and our subconscious, the stuff that we're doing is worth dying for. This is what we were made to do. This is worth dying for.
You're with us, Joe Tessitore alongside Teddy Atlas, and we welcome you to the Metro Manila Arena here in the Philippines. Our main event should be a good one tonight. This should be a good one tonight. Both fighters say they are primed, coming off a very intense and passionate training camp. Tyson.
And his opponent across the ring with a record of 54 victories, with 40 by knockout and 7 defeats, from Pensacola, Roy Jones Jr.
We went over the rules in the dressing room. Let's have a good, clean fight. Touch them up.
And we are underway for this scheduled 12-rounder. Teddy, a prime Mike Tyson here has so many KO1s sprinkled across his record. Do you expect those kind of fireworks early on here?
Yeah, for a couple reasons. He understands the history. He's a history student. He likes the legacy. He wants to be like Jack Dempsey, all those fighters of the past where he's ferocious. And also, he wants to send a signal to future opponents that you should not get in the ring with him.
He got all into that one. That was a solid uppercut. Roy Jones Jr.'s tagged by a huge hook to the body. You know from watching his career, Roy Jones Jr. is not the kind of guy who backs down from a fight. But right now, he cannot afford to engage in this fight after being hurt so badly. Teddy, talk to me about this matchup from a defensive side of the game when you have two speedy fighters matching up.
So you know what? I'm going to whisper in my guy's ear a little bit. I'm going to say, you know what? Use his speed against him. Step out a little bit. Let him shadow box a little bit. There's nobody there. And when he misses, step right back in. Make him pay.
Body shot, left hand. Tyson's defense did a good job there, able to avoid that punch. Right hand crashes home. Big shot he just scored with. Big headshot puts him down. Roy Roy Jones Jr. is going to have to pull himself together here. Now, he beat the count, but still a lot of work to do.
Yeah, a lot of work because he doesn't have the benefit of his legs. Can't move around there wobbly right now. So what he's got to do is grab on a little bit and walk. Walk to the ropes, kill some time, make the referee come in between you and break you.
Round comes to an end. Knockdown was scored in that round. So, Teddy, you're working the corner of the guy who was just on the floor. What are you telling him?
You're telling him that if he's been down before, you want to actually use that for posture. I know that sounds crazy, but you say, hey, you've been here before, you've overcome it. You want to remind him that he can get back. And then the most important thing, Joe, is you tell him why he got dropped. So when he goes out there, he's not just scared going into a dark place saying, gee, it's going to happen again. He knows he has control.
Start of a new round, and I give credit to his corner. Roy Jones Jr.'s cornermen did a really good job after a round in which their fighter was knocked down of just being calm and cool.
The way they're supposed to be. You know, we always talk about the fighter having to be calm and the experience that a fighter has. Well, that corner has plenty of experience. They just showed it.
Roy Jones Jr. with a good-looking jab, and he ties up on the inside. Oh, a big shot comes home for him. Can he get up from this? He's done it before, but can he get up from a second time down? So after being knocked down, now some major questions to be answered by Roy Jones Jr. Threw the straight right hand, but didn't score with it. Mike Tyson's nailed by a huge uppercut.
Keep those hands up.
Halfway through round number 2. Teddy, it was very clear early on in Mike's career, especially a lot of the fights that I went to in Latham, New York, and Albany, New York, and Troy, New York, that the fight was won before the opening bell was rung. That intimidation is such a big part of his game.
Something that's been developed for a long time, something that he's been cognizant of for a long time. You know, he comes from a scary neighborhood in Brownsville. A lot of tough guys, a lot of bad guys, and he was scared of them. So he understands how that can be used. I'll tell you a quick story. We were in the Junior Olympics back in, when he was a kid. He was only 14 years old. He was 190 pounds. You know, he was a guy that was all muscle. We were in Denver, Colorado for the National Junior Olympics, and everybody's looking at him. They look like kids. They were fat, they were chubby. They're looking at this guy and say, what's he doing here? He's in the wrong place. This is a man. And he didn't talk to anybody. He made sure that he just stared ahead. He knew that their minds were going to play tricks on him. He knew their imagination was at work. He knew that imagination was like acid. It was eating away at him. And before you knew it, by doing that, there was a rumor going around that this was Sonny Liston's nephew. And Tyson never told anybody he wasn't.
This is your night. Keep closing the gap. You get close to fast combinations to the body. He doesn't like those shots to the body.
He has a new round in front of him, but I don't know that there's any new hope. He's been down numerous times tonight, including that last round.
You never know what a person's capable of when they're pushed to the brink.
Wow! Forget about the judges. This one may be over now. Roy Jones Jr.'s down, and he looks like he's in bad shape.
When you fall that way, you usually don't get up.
Down he goes, but he's going to continue on, beating the count. Tyson's knowledge of the game is showing through. 3 ways to defend. One of them is to block. He did it there well.
Keep your hands up.
He just looks exhausted to me right now. Jones's accuracy is non-existent. This guy cannot punch a solid target right now. Did you see that? That was a big shot that floored him, and it's a big shot that may end him right here.
That looks like the great pitcher, Great Maddox, his sinker ball. Boy, it went down quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The ref is stopping this fight. Roy Jones Jr. is unable to continue. This fight is over. Knockout.
By way of knockout, your winner, Tyson.